Hello and welcome to the Danny Buys Houses podcast. I'm your host, Danny Johnson, owner of Danny Buys Houses in San Antonio, Texas. We've been buying houses for cash in San Antonio for over 20 years now. It's crazy how time flies. Anyway, I'm excited about today's topic. If you're a landlord, maybe a reluctant one, and you're done with your rental property, this episode is for you. Today, we're diving into how to sell your rental property in San Antonio with or without tenants to a cash buyer like Danny Buys Houses. We'll cover why you might want out fast, how it works, and answer some listener questions along the way. So let's get started. All right. Being a landlord isn't all sunshine and rent checks. Trust me, I was sold on that and thought that's what it was, and absolutely not. So I've been buying houses in San Antonio for a long time, and I hear it from landlords all the time. And I'm also a landlord. Those crazy windy days we had a couple weeks ago here in San Antonio. Well, I had two trees at two different rental properties decide to drop large branches on cars. Yeah, not fun. All these for all these years, I've never had that happen, but for some reason, that last a couple weeks ago, those windstorms, two different rental properties that happened. So not fun. You get to deal with it sometimes, I'm sure, with different things. And but anyway, maybe you've had tenants not pay and have to be evicted only to find out that they trashed the place. This is typically the situation. Holes in the walls, clogged toilets, yard like a dump. Maybe you're a reluctant landlord. You inherited a property you never wanted to be a landlord. You didn't want that gig, or the headaches that you have sometimes being a landlord, late rent, repairs, tenant fights. They're all wearing you down. Does that sound familiar? You ready to sell fast? I'm going to talk about uh, the ways to do that, right? So selling a rental the old way, listing it, fixing it up takes time. In San Antonio, right now, homes are sitting on the market for, between 70 and 90 days. And if it's beat up, you got to add months for the delay in that, because typically most buyers, the biggest buyer pool, they want homes they can just move into, right? That are move-in ready. So you might consider a cash sale, right? And that's different. We buy houses as is, tenants or not, and we close quick. So let's break this down. If you're selling with tenants still there, Texas landlord tenant laws say that they've got rights, obviously. Lease agreements don't just disappear because you want out, right? You've got to honor those lease agreements. If they're month to month, you give them 30 days notice to end it. And if they've got that lease, if you still have a valid lease with them, you either wait it out or negotiate a buyout, right? So you can do that. The other thing is we can take over the existing lease, right? So we would just have to then honor the existing lease you have with the tenants. Um, so how, right? How does that work? Well, we visit the house when the tenants say they're okay with it per the law, and we make an offer. We take a look at what's needed. We are going to take into account how much they're paying in rent, what property taxes are, what the insurance costs, all that kind of stuff. And then you cash out. We take over as the new landlord and honor that lease agreement. So you don't have to deal with eviction processes, hassle, all the typical hassles like that, because we'll just take over pretty much for you. So real estate investors like us handle that whole mess for you if you agree to sell for cash. So now, the other thing is, tenant's already gone, right? So you've already evicted them, they vacated or whatever. Maybe they've left a mess. There's stains, there's trash, there's broken stuff. You don't have to fix any of that stuff. You can just sell the house completely as is, exactly the way it is. No cleaning required. If they left a bunch of stuff behind, you don't have to clean it out. I've seen houses with fridges full of mold, floors ripped up, and we just don't blink. We've seen it before. We know what it's going to take to take care of it. You call us, we check it out, we offer you cash, and we close quickly. So there's no waiting and dealing with picky buyers or anything like that. We're definitely not picky. So as an example, take we'll call her Maria, a landlord I helped last year. It's not her real name. Her rental off of Military Drive was a nightmare. Tenants trashed it before she evicted them. She was just done. She was tired of dealing with their lies about payments being made and all that kind of stuff. And she didn't want to sink thousands of dollars into repairs. So we walked through, we saw the chaos and offered to cash anyway, because it's what we do. So we closed in 2 weeks, and she said, she told me, Danny, you saved my sanity. And that's what we do. We turn your rental burden into cash and we do it fast because we buy houses cash completely as is in San Antonio. So let's go and transition into some of these listener questions, right? The first one here, let's see. Can I sell with tenants who won't leave? From Alex in San Antonio. Alex, yeah, absolutely. If they're on a lease, we buy it and deal with them later. If not, we start eviction. Or if the the payment situation is such that that happens sooner or whatever. And so we we'll work with you on that. It depends exactly on whatever the situation is, right? How late they are, whether you've served a notice, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things that we got to figure out as far as exactly where you are in the situation with them not paying, not leaving, if you've already been through eviction court and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just have to talk with you. Reach out to us and we'll get it straightened out. Next one here. Let's see. My tenants trash the place. Will you still buy it? That's Lisa, who has a house in Tobin Hill. Lisa, absolutely. We bought rentals worse than you can imagine, burned, wrecked, you name it. So don't worry about the repairs. We'll buy it as is. You can still sell it to us or other cash buyers. We'll buy it as is also. All right, so that's all the questions we've got. And if you're ready to ditch that rental, here's how to start. Go to DannyBuysHouse.com, fill out the fast cash offer form. Only takes about 2 minutes. Tell us about the house, tell us about the tenants, tell us about the condition, what rent payments, all that kind of stuff. And we'll get in touch with you. We'll try to figure out how to see it with the tenants or not. And sometimes we can make an offer cash, sight unseen, but then at some point we're going to need to see that. Otherwise, we're going to have to assume he needs everything. So it's best if we can get a look at the property. All right, look, I know rentals can drain you. Tenants who don't want to pay or can't pay, maybe sometimes they want to, they just can't. Repairs that never end. I've been helping landlords for a long time. Imagine no more chasing the rent, no more fixing toilets, no more getting calls at 6 o'clock on a Friday evening. Just cash and peace of mind and being done with it. So that's what we offer at Danny Buys Houses, a chance for that to happen for you. So head to DannyBuysHouses.com, fill out the form, and let's talk. I'm Danny Johnson. I've got your back, San Antonio. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Share this with the landlords who's had enough. I'm sure they appreciate that. Next episode, we're going to tackle We Buy Houses scams. All right, so we've got to be careful. Some bad actors out there. So don't miss it. This is Danny Johnson from Danny Buys Houses saying take care. Let's get that rental sold. Sell smart. See you next time.